pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Blackburn?
Here.
Ms. Fritsch?
Present.
Mr. Midgley?
Present.
Mr. Scholey?
Present.
Dr. Johnson?
Present.
Mr. Speakman?
Present.
All right, first item, the minutes are not yet ready, so we need to table that. So can I get a motion to table the minutes from the regular meeting held Wednesday, March 25th, 2026, and the agenda meeting held April 8th, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor?
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Mr. Scholey?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
Favor. All right, next item on the agenda is the continuation of the public hearing for the zoning ordinance in Saldo. So can I get a motion to reopen that public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Mr. Scholey?
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
Favor. All right, we are not going to be repeating the presentation that was presented on March 11th, and we will continue with public commentary at this time. So if anyone has anything that they would like to address regarding the Saldo and the zoning ordinance, please step to the microphone and state your name and address.
Good afternoon, members of council and the administration. My name is Slade Miller. I own a business in Hampton. The address is 4767 William Flynn Highway. That's in Allison Park. It's right next to the Citizens Bank. I also have another parcel of property further down on Route 8 closer to Duncan. I was on the zoning hearing board for a number of years, about 13 years. I served with Ms. Fritsch before she went on to bigger and better things. I also participated to the extent possible in, I think it was like a strategic planning, there's so many names, but a strategic planning sort of related to the zoning ordinance that you folks are looking at today. I think zoning is difficult, and I think the council is doing the best that it absolutely can when it comes to this. Over the last several years, I feel like this council, more than anything I've seen, has reached out to the community and asked them for their input. And you did that first with, I believe, the comprehensive plan. Then you use the comprehensive plan, I thought, at least from my perspective, as kind of a guiding light to have your zoning ordinance adopt that. And I think at least what I started to hear a lot was that, you know, the Route 8 corridor looked terrible. And that's seemed to be consistently the feedback. And what you always heard was, hey, 19 looks great, 19 looks great, 19 looks great. And I think the township could have taken a very easy route, which was functionally like throw a different name on McCandless's ordinance or something of that nature. And the township, or Marshall's, and the township didn't do that. And I think you went well out of your way to look into this. You took feedback at multiple different events. People had the opportunity to do that. I don't know when the last time was that we had a comprehensive update. I remember little changes here, like chicken coops, the sizes of sheds, things like that, but nothing comprehensive like this. And it probably isn't going to be perfect. And you'll probably hear people just majority complain about things, but I think you're moving in the right direction. And I think you'll probably have to revise it from time to time, but I think it is the right thing to do to try to make this progress. I don't think there's going to be any way to kind of move the needle and work with the commentary that you've received related to Route 8 without some change in that zoning ordinance. There's plenty of things about it I don't particularly care for. It's not my cup of tea, but you can't make everybody happy. You couldn't even get like 4 people to agree on a pizza topping, let alone all the residents to be happy with your zoning ordinance. I also think, at least from my perspective, I think, and I was at several of the meetings with Mr. Trant. I'm sure I'm butchering his last name. It's kind of my thing, terrible with names. But I believe during those meetings, we found out a couple of things probably that really weren't right about the zoning ordinance or some of the policies and procedures. So I really think it's in the township's best interest to move forward with it at this time. And I think, you make adjustments, but I really think that the administration and all of the staff at the township should be commended for reaching out and doing their best to solicit input. And I think the council should be as well for putting everybody in the position to do that. Like I said, I don't see much of that occurring, and it didn't occur quickly. I think COVID kind of throws off timing for everything. I feel like the township's been gathering data for 3 or 4 years before it went through this process, which I believe was almost all of last year. And even during last year, you had events where people could come and give you feedback. So I think everybody's going in the right direction. I'm in favor of it, and I hope you folks are able to work through it and get it done. And I appreciate everything that you folks are doing for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Slade.
And we appreciate your work on this too.
Penguins are up 1-0. Jim Ventura, 2991 Woodland Court, also a member of Planning Commission. Sort of, reiterate exactly what was just said. I'm, as far as the zoning ordinance goes, I'm in front of you to really recommend or encourage, keeping everything moving forward and to promote, adopting the new ordinance. And it isn't, even though the perception is, oh my God, we're, coming in here, we're changing things. It's really not change. It's sort of a milestone in a process that's been going on for years. I mean, we started it back with the comp plan, and then you're changing. We sort of been, for you guys to actually take the comp plan and implement stuff in the comp plan is, I commend you all for doing that, because a lot of municipalities sort of check the box and do what they need to do to comply with the MPC and really don't do that. So what's in the new zoning ordinance, is everything that's sort of been talked about, everything that's been encouraged from, all the community outreach and everything that's been done. And the existing ordinance right now, even though the new one looks a lot different, and John's done a tremendous job in making it look different, it's really the same stuff, it's just a lot easier to navigate. The existing ordinance and working with other communities is, your existing ordinance has sort of been amended so many times that it's very complicated to sort of follow, and it's, a lot of things have changed, a lot of amendments have been made, and what this does is sort of streamlines the ordinance to make it a lot cleaner, a lot easier, and it also puts policies in place to also streamline local government. And I think, even at the last planning commission, I think the couple applications that came in, I'd love to hear their feedback, because I think it was definitely streamlined from what it would have been, in the past. But just as a planning commission member, as a resident, number one, thank you guys for everything you do, because 95% of people that get up here usually probably are saying the complete opposite. But I'm sure you want to be here on a beautiful Wednesday night. But thank you for what you're doing. I'd like to, it's, as he mentioned, it's not going to be perfect. We're going to have amendments, but I think we got to keep momentum, keep this thing moving, adopt it. We're going to have some changes, but at least you're going to be starting off, as opposed to your car that you've been putting, a Band-Aid on. You're sort of buying a new car, still taking you in the same direction, but now when we make changes, we can sort of implement them a little bit easier. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, anyone else? Then can I have a motion to close the public hearing for the zoning ordinance and Saldo update, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Mr. Shuley?
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor.
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
Favor. All right, next item is citizens' agenda matters. If anyone has anything that they'd like to address to council, please step to the microphone and state your name and address. All right, moving on to administration.
The first item is actually not on the agenda, but I'm going to ask under public safety, under Chief Velakovich, if council will be willing to have a motion to amend the agenda to add motion to disqualify the current police officer eligibility list and authorization to re-advertise to create an eligibility list for a full-time police officer. In hindsight, we maybe should have done this sooner, just given the fact that our new collective bargaining agreement, especially with our police union, raises the starting rate pretty substantially. It brings us into range where we're competitive with our neighboring communities, which is something we didn't have at the start of the last list.
All right, so can I get a motion to amend the agenda as Mr. Jarosky stated?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Shuley?
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor.
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
Favor. All right. Item A, please.
Yes, the first item is award of a bid to Vogel Disposal Service for the 2027 through 2031 Hampton Township Residential Solid Waste and Recycling bid. Aaron, if you can pull up, I'll go through this quickly, I promise. I just wanted to show the bid results. We submitted bids, we received bids on April 8th, so actually it was 2 weeks ago today that we received bids, if you go to the first page. So just the basic premise of the bid, we assumed continued automated collection, a 5-year base contract with an option for an additional 5 years to be taken as a bulk. 96-gallon cart for garbage, 64-gallon cart for recycling. These will be brand-new carts issued at the start of the contract. Allow leases of up to 2 additional carts of each type per resident. This was something that came after discussion with 2 of the haulers. They have both said to us that previously what the North Hills COG had and what we had in our bid initially, which was purchasing those carts outright, if it was a one-time cost, it would likely be high. Somewhere in the neighborhood of, on the low end, maybe $250, but possibly as high as $400. So the monthly lease gives a lot more flexibility to residents. Electronic and household hazardous waste collection quarterly. All carts remain property of the contractor. Like I said, new starts at the contract. There is no change to yard waste or bulk collection. Base bid 1 was sort of a pay-as-you-throw program, but that's not recommended. All discounts, senior citizen discount, snowbird discount, and pay early at the start of the year discount are maintained. So 4 firms attended our pre-bid meeting. These are all the 4 major haulers that you could possibly have who would have interest in a garbage bid. All of them but Republic Services submitted bids. So the bid breakdown is as follows. If you go to the next slide. So base bid 2, again, that's the one that allows for essentially bulk collection at our current way, which is, 1 item once a month per household. Vogel Disposal, the total amount, they were the apparent low bidder. County Hauling and Waste Management were about $3.5 to almost $4 million more. Go to the next slide. So this is how, and I do apologize, you've all seen this, but this is how we determined that number. Was we basically took the base rate for each year, multiplied it by the number of units in the township, because it's billed monthly, or it's not billed monthly, but the cost is monthly assumed in this bid, and then multiplied by the number of months. So you took all of that over 5 years, added it together. You also took the value of the current number. We have 6,472 units in the township. We have 995 units that have at least 1, if not 2, additional carts for garbage. So we included that in the base bid as a way to kind of control that price. And then the 26 units that have an additional recycling cart, that was included as well. Again, same philosophy, monthly rate times number of units times 12 months. And then the backyard and drive-in service, which are sort of incidental. But that's how we came to that number. So that's the fun part of the math. Here's the easy part of the math, I think, for people to understand if you go to the next slide. This is a base bid comparison. I did not put County Hauling on here. They were the highest bidder. I could include their rates, but for the purpose of this discussion, there's really no point. If you look at the difference, it's pretty stark. 2027, $30.35 versus Waste Management's, the different pricing from Vogel. Even the additional cart cost is only $6 a month for a 96-gallon cart from Vogel, $10.42 from Waste Management. And if you look, our current rate is $39.51. So at the start of this contract next year, people are going to see a reduction of over $9 a month in their garbage rates. So if you go to the next slide, so again, our base rate this year with Waste Management is $39.51 per unit. That equates to $474.12 per year. Now, because really, this is the number that matters, because we can sit here and talk about what the bids are for next year, but what's coming out of people's pockets right now? And it's that number. So how does this compare? If you look at the savings over the 5 years of the base bid, our rates would be lower each of those 5 years than they are right now. So the total savings, again, the first year it's almost $110, $97 in the second year. Over those 5 years, the savings $418.32 per home in Hampton Township. Go to the next slide. Just to give you some idea, I kind of looked at the annual percentage increases of our current contract with Waste Management versus what's proposed by Vogel. Waste Management's contract was a 9% increase each year of the contract. Vogel was a 3.5% increase each year. And even the option years, that sort of second 5 years, it only goes up to a 4% increase in contract cost. So, Okay, so that's all the good news, but changing haulers is not fun. Susan, yeah, we're praying for you over there.
You need an intern. Just put them on that phone.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will say this, that there will be some minor changes. We did not get to, the cart color is going to change. It's going to be the traditional Vogel colors, which are dark gray and blue. The bulk collection, one of the things Vogel had asked for is that people just call ahead if they have a bulk item. I don't think that's necessarily unreasonable. The one advantage with Vogel is they actually have human beings who answer their phone. Yeah. So, there's that. Jerry, don't forget, for a senior citizen discount, you're actually getting 10% less on those rates. So, yeah, you'll be drinking top shelf next year. All right.
Are you calling me senior?
Yeah, you're the one who wanted it. So, we did reach out. Vogel's in this area. I mean, I think everyone's familiar with Vogel. They're in Richland Township. They're in Pine. They've been in Cranberry for some time, and they're in Marshall as well. I spoke to the managers of all those communities. They all said, Vogel's a fine firm. I mean, they're a waste hauling firm. Are they going to miss someone someday? Yes. I still think they're very competent, and I would recommend accepting base bid 2 of their proposal. So I don't know if there's any questions. I threw a lot at you there.
Is it a requirement that you call if you have a large item, and are they open on the weekends when I figure out I have to put something out on Monday?
Their customer service is traditional business hours. We're still kind of sorting that one out. That was an initial ask. We met with Vogel, Susan and I did last week, just to be like, hey guys, are you comfortable with this bid? Because I'm looking at these numbers and I'm very happy, but I don't want you to be very angry or me to get service less than what we expect in the township. And they were very fine with their bid and everything they submitted. They had just said, hey, if you can call us in advance. And I think it's something where if if it's a recurring thing, if you let them know, hey, look, every third week of the month, I will have a bulk item out. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I mean, they're pretty agreeable. They did talk, and we haven't determined yet, about potentially moving to a 4-day collection schedule as opposed to 5. There are some advantages to that, specifically for people, especially if you have a midweek holiday and it pushes that Friday collection rate now to Saturday. If something's missed, they're not coming back till Monday. So if you have it, that midweek holiday on a 4-day collection schedule and it's pushed to Friday, they can still catch you. So there's that. But sorry, I threw a lot at you there.
So the collection days might change.
May change. We're still talking with them. Yeah.
I'm so curious how they were able to bid so much lower than Waste Management. Like, what are the drivers in the waste and the garbage?
Oh,
business?
good Lord. The economics of the garbage industry are something that I've been fascinated by for probably the whole time I've worked in local government. I think there's a lot of factors here. I will say I think the COG bids are just they're dead. I mean, I was in part of the SHACOG bid previously. Did not go well.
Okay.
Waste Management does have higher overhead. I mean, they're very much a corporate company that has sort of their pricing structure. Vogel is a smaller firm, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And you verified with them that they're comfortable with their bid,
Oh,
so.
Yes. As Susan knows, after I pulled the guy over and I said, "Are you serious?" And they were very serious about it. They're very comfortable with their bid. So.
Two quick things. My questions are usually quick. The sizes of the carts are the same that
Yes.
we have now.
Yes.
Both of them.
Yes.
And then the second one was base bid 1, base bid 2 for everyone other than Vogel were the same number. I didn't notice that before. They're just,
Yeah.
that was just how they bid it.
Vogel, if you look in other communities, Vogel does do pay as you throw for bulk, so they clearly have that baked into their business model. The other firms typically do not.
All right, any other questions? All right.
When would this take effect?
Next
January
year.
1st, 2027. Yeah. So there's going to be like a massive, I mean, every article I write in the magazine for the rest of this year will be garbage related. You know, and we will.
Trash.
Yes, so just a heads up on that one. There's going to be a lot of public advertising here, and I will say Vogel actually, we asked them if they could get a truck to touch a truck next month, and they actually said, oh yeah, sure, that'd be a great way for us to kind
that
of
is
meet
a
your
good idea.
community. So,
That's
you know,
That's a great idea.
I like that.
they're going to try, we're going to try, but there's
Violation of
going to,
Farm Waste Management
yeah,
Contract.
it's going to be a tremendous amount of public involvement with
So are we
this.
changing out carts in the middle of December, or in the middle of winter?
The contract calls for it to be changed several weeks before Christmas. So, yes, the unfortunate downside of this is Waste Management probably will not come get their carts until sometime in January.
Kinda like,
Yeah,
A bunch of extra
that's on
cards.
that.
yes, yeah.
This is gonna be a big undertaking.
What's that?
This is gonna be a big undertaking.
Yes,
Cool.
Here we go.
yeah.
All right, any other questions? And then can I get a motion to award base bid 2 to Vogel Disposal Services, Inc. for the 2027 to 2031 Hampton Township Residential Solid Waste and Recycling Contract at the rates identified in their proposal with an option for an additional 5 years?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Blackburn,
Favor?
Ms. Fritsch,
Favor.
Mr. Midgley,
Favor.
Mr. Shuley,
Favor.
Dr. Johnson.
Favor.
Uh,
Item B.
Yeah, the item B is just execution of a memorandum of understanding to allow the school district to use the community center as a sheltering and reunification center during an incident at the high school. We talked about this before. It's been something we've worked with the school district on. Yeah.
Any questions? All right, then can I get a motion to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Hampton Township School District for facility usage for sheltering and reunification?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Fritsch,
Favor.
Mr. Midgley,
Favor.
Mr. Shuley,
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn,
Favor?
Dr. Johnson.
Favor. All right, item C.
Yes, this is a recommendation of the Environmental Advisory Committee that council adopt a resolution recognizing Hampton as a bird town community. Again, as a practical matter, what this really does is sort of connect the township and the EAC to a lot of sort of outreach for birds and environmental, yeah. Do you want a bird box in your yard, Julie? Right, we
I
should-
do have a bird box in my backyard.
Oh, there we go. Good,
I did not put that up there. My neighbor did. I'm just kidding.
duly noted. But yes.
Anyone have any questions about this item? I did attend the presentation at ALOM by the Birdtown, Pennsylvania community, and it was really interesting, and they did talk about a lot of the different advantages, so sounds good to me. Resolution number?
1125.
All right, can I get a motion to adopt Resolution 1125, recognizing the township as a Birdtown, Pennsylvania community?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Midgley,
Favor.
Mr. Shuley,
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn,
Favor?
Ms. Fritsch,
Favor.
Dr. Johnson.
Favor. Item D, please.
Yes, recommending adoption of a resolution opting into the Community Development Block Grant and Home Partnership Programs for the years 2027, 2028, and 2029. Again, as a practical matter, the township will not get CDBG funding because we don't have any census tracts that will qualify us to do so, but it does allow for nonprofit organizations that serve senior citizens in our community to utilize that funding. And it also makes residents eligible for some low-interest home improvement loans through the county as well.
Any questions about this item? 1126.
Correct.
Can I get a motion to adopt Resolution 1126, opting into the Allegheny County Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Programs for 2027 through 2029, per the letter from the county dated February 17th?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Shuley,
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn,
Favor?
Ms. Fritsch,
Favor.
Mr. Midgley,
Favor.
Dr. Johnson.
Favor. All right, the North Hills Council of Government Executive Board did not meet this month, so I will defer to the manager if he has anything he'd like to report.
We meet on May 1st. for
So
the-
that would be
yeah.
a no.
Yes.
All right, Water Authority monthly report. Anything to add, or are there any questions? All right, Engineers monthly report, same thing. Anything to add or any questions? Legal Counsel monthly report.
Nothing to add to the written report.
Controllers monthly report.
Hi.
I saw you getting that mic ready.
So, as you are well aware, the general fund operating budget is based on historical trends, and with some exceptions is fairly static except for incremental economic growth. As such, I pay close attention to the year-to-year comparisons in addition to the budgetary anomalies. Through the first quarter, revenues for 26 are slightly ahead of 25 by 35,000. Variations of note include delinquent real estate taxes are 36,000 behind 25. I don't know what that means. Some houses, I would guess that typically would be sold early in the year, making up for delinquent taxes that they didn't pay, waiting for their house to sell. Something has just changed a little bit in the market. Earned income, however, is 61,000 ahead of 25. Deed transfer is 113,000 ahead of 25, a small surprise. Cable franchise fees are $55,000 behind. Presumably, that's just going to be a timing issue of a receipt of revenue. Sewer tap-in fees are 17,000 behind 25, which indicates fewer builds going on in the township, which we expected. Sewer revenue is 39,000 ahead of 25. That's almost a false comparison because it's always just a matter of timing. The sewer revenues is just always the same thing by the end of the year. Sale of municipal property is 28,000 behind 25. No thanks to the contributions or the non-contributions of Mr. Degnan and his crew in salvaging a lot of scrap that was in the demolition part. So we expected that to be down. Transfer of liquid fuels is as budgeted, but it's 35,000 less than what it was in 25. So that's a confirming indication that we are receiving less funds from the state in liquid fuels, and that's been somewhat of a continuing decline. Expenses are $323,000 above 2025 at the end of the first quarter. Increased salaries and benefits represent a significant portion of that, including costs related to the retirement of the IT director. Property demolition is 20,000 more than in 25, but it is as budgeted. Snow and ice control is 21,000 over 2025, but is still within budget, at least until November, December. So if we buy more to get ready for the next season, it's going to be significantly over. And let me amend that. That was snow and ice control. It's 24 overtime. That was the overtime. Within April deliveries that we have received, salt purchases are over budget, while being slightly over the same period in 2025. So additional purchases will lead to a significant overrun in that particular item. Sewage treatment plant utility costs are $23,000 over 25. We can take a look at new buildings are being have been built, are being used, and therefore utility costs are going up associated with that. And this year actually will help us to establish the baseline for how much is it really going to cost to operate the treatment plant in terms of, especially in utilities, but along with commodities and supplies. The sludge cost notably is still is $7,000 below 25, which was a significant drop from prior years. So that continues to be a very positive gain for us in reduced cost. In regards to stormwater management, Revenues are at 92% of budget, which is comparable to where we were in '25, and thus establishing the funding for our '26 maintenance cost and the planned projects. And that's all I have to comment on unless you have additional questions.
Anyone have any questions? All right, thank you. Information technology monthly report.
I have nothing to add.
And I have nothing to add to the library board monthly report unless there are questions. All right, anything else for administration?
Nothing.
Public safety then, please.
So as council's aware, we have an open position for police officer in the police department, and we are currently going through the vetting process to be able to try to find a qualified candidate. And at this time, I have to ask council for a motion to disqualify the current testing list. And if council would do that, I would then ask for them to give me permission to re-advertise for applications and begin a new process.
All right, anyone have any questions? All right, then can I get a motion to disqualify the current police officer eligibility list and authorize the re-advertisement of creating a new eligibility list for the full-time police officer position?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor.
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Mr. Shirley?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
In favor. All right, anything to add to your monthly report?
I do not, unless there are questions.
All right. EMS monthly report, please.
Hello, everybody. My apologies for ducking out last month, and glad to be here this week. I did give it a really hard try, though. So you should have my monthly report in your packet. Very high overview, 152 calls in Hampton in the month. That's 12 more than the previous March. We total monthly calls for the month, 519, an increase of 12, and total pages transported 384. One thing I always think is interesting, I'd like to point out, just the first page, we always report the day with the least calls and the day with the most calls. So the day with the least calls in that month was 11. There was the third with 11 calls. The day with the most was 3 days later with 28. So, we see that variance we go. I think the most drastic I ever saw was 8 calls in a day, which happened again just last week. We did 8 calls and 4 transports in 24 hours, and the high was 32. So it really is part of the challenge we deal with, staffing, and make sure we're perfectly staffed at all times and following trends that work for us pretty well, but not always predictable. So are there any questions about any of the data or anything related to that? A couple other updates. Saw some friendly faces up at Seven Springs, the ALOM conference, who were kind enough to come and listen to the presentation I participated in. And for those who did it 2 years in a row, I really appreciate it and apologize. We talked 2 months ago about the screening we're doing for new cardiac monitors. And we made a decision just about 2 weeks ago. We had a staff meeting at the end of it after reviewing 2 different devices for 2 weeks in both stations. And it was about a 5-to-1 in favor of a device called the Zoll Xenix. And presented that to our board, including Mr. Speakman and Ms. Blackburn, Monday night, and was approved to purchase 6 of those. Total cost about $375,000. We're able to do that because of the support we get from Hampton and Shaler, who support us on an annual basis towards a capital fund account. It's come from that as part of our planning process, and super excited about that. We probably won't see this until about June. But it really will bring some great new technology to patient care, and especially reporting and feedback and so forth while we're actively treating patients and reporting after the fact. So we'll bring one of those up to show it off a little bit. June 15th, I certainly hope we have these in by then. We typically do a joint board and staff meeting once a year, and that would be in June. We decided this year, after some discussion with the board, that we're going to want to invite all of you. All the elected officials from the 3 communities. We'll get that formal invitation out. You have to go pretty far. We're at the Hampton Community Center. So we appreciate you helping us host that as well. And then last but not least, we're in the kind of wind down phase of the first mailing of the subscription campaign, which has gone pretty well. And in a couple weeks, you'll be seeing the second request coming out. And that's my report, unless there's any questions.
You need to tell them about the ambulance.
Okay. So we had our 5th out ambulance that we use for special events, and it comes into rotation, pretty regularly to make sure it doesn't just sit there. broke down for us 6 times, and then eventually 7 times, we tried to put it in service. So it was not due for replacement. We went to the board 3 months ago now to go for replacement of that. We were fortunate in securing a GETF grant for a significant portion, about $220,000, towards a $300,000 cost. We were in a pinch to get it fast. We found a vendor that we didn't typically deal with. He said they would have it for us in March. We committed to them, and then after we said we did commit to them, they said it would be June. And then in February, I followed up with them 3 times and couldn't get an email back. March 6th, I sent the salesperson an email, or a text, I'm sorry, and said, we need to talk today. And he said, I can't talk today, I'm setting up for this show, but I'll call you Monday. On Thursday and Friday, overnight, I got a rather strange email that I won't go into the details of, but said, I did bad things, call my boss. So I did forward the email to his boss and say, what's going on? His boss said, I don't know what's going on. I can't figure out all the emails. But I talked to the manufacturer, and they said they can have it for you in January. But I talked to them, now I'm going to have it for us in September. The end result was we talked to the manufacturer we've been buying from. We bought 2 from in 2021, 2 from in 2024. This was going to be similar but not identical. And with that change, we've gone back to the original vendor. So we're not going to have it in the time frame we want it. But we are going to have trucks that are identical and trucks we know are very reliable for us. So that's that change.
And the delivery is still September.
Delivery is still September, but it will be an identical vehicle with the other 4 that we have. So it's a unfortunate but fortunate thing all wrapped up into one.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all.
Eric,
Take care.
Eric,
Yes, sir.
some details from what we talked about earlier.
Oh, thank you. Just want to assure everybody there's no money in here. Thank you all.
Just a Swiss
Enjoy your
bank account
conference
number.
tomorrow.
Just a number.
Might drive to Hershey this evening. On the way.
Drive safe. Anything else for public safety?
I have nothing.
All right, community services then, please.
Good evening. Of course, you know I'm not Melanie, so I'm filling in for her because she's still in Orlando as we speak. Tomorrow if she comes back. So, filling in for her. This is the request to move capital funds, an award for the GEDTF grant in the amount of $40,000 was awarded to purchase picnic tables for the 7 park pavilions. And this is a request, and that amount was $65,561.80. It is a request that the additional funds to purchase these picnic benches will come from the Bocce Court Capital Project Fund.
So can you remind me what is the amount that we are transferring from the Bocce Court projects to the park bench?
That is $20,000.
20,000.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyone have any questions about this item?
And there is a gap of $5,000. I would point out, we had savings on especially the lighting project at the community center in the amount of $10,000. I think it's probably going to be more than that when all is said and done. So we do have enough to cover it from savings on another project, if the controller is satisfied with my answer. Okay.
All right, any questions about this item? All right, then can I get a motion to authorize the Parks and Recreation Programs Administrator to transfer capital improvement funds from the Bocce Court project to supplement the remaining costs for the park picnic benches being purchased through the GEDTF grant per the memo dated April 1st in the amount of $20,000.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Mr. Sholey?
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
Favor. All right, who has the next item? Is that yours?
Next item. This is a request to release the capital funds for the Public Works architectural design in the amount of $60,000. This was budgeted $75,000, but the request is only for $60,000. This is a 2-year process, 2026 in the amount of $50,000 and 2027 in the amount of $46,111. Just some history. This was completed as a facility study and programming phase in 2025, so this moves it forward to the construction document phase. There is a $10,000 contingency in the 2026 year. Again, as I stated in the agenda meeting, just for survey and sanitary question marks that could pop up, preliminary with the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, if there's more that's kind of needed, and if there's any permit changes that we run into with this first phase that I could potentially see with any adjustments, we'll adjust it in this year, and then hopefully we won't have a big contingency gap for next year.
Anyone have any questions? All right, can I get a motion to authorize the release of funds from the capital improvements fund budget for the Public Works Building architectural design in the amount of $60,000 per the memo dated April 1st?
So moved. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Mr. Shorley?
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor.
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
Favor. Next item.
Thank you. As discussed at the agenda meeting, this year's capital improvement fund budget calls for the paving of the community park trails in the amount of $200,000. In March, you awarded a contract to Tresco Paving in the amount of approximately $105,000 to pave the main trail, but at my recommendation, not do the pond trail. It's in fairly good condition, it's fairly flat, so we did not need it. That leaves $95,000 in the capital budget from this project. After discussions between JR, the Public Works foreman, and myself, we would like to pursue the resurfacing of the museum parking lots this year. There are a number of areas that are in very poor condition, and I may add that after today's removal of some of the trees there in the upper parking lot, the condition of the parking lot is worse because of the heavy equipment. So if we patch those areas, it will not last that long and create a hazard for those walking on the asphalt surfaces. The first part of this project would be to concrete underneath the breezeway behind the main building. I provided a quote from Sowers Building for the concrete work. We're recommending option 2. It would match the sidewalks that they recently did, and that totals $12,825. Before this work is done, though, we have to have our contractor Easy Excavating in to add some drainage work to that area. It's an estimated cost of about $6,000. Tonight, I am requesting consideration to reallocate $20,000 from the Park Trail paving project to resurface under the Depreciation Lands Museum breezeway, including the drainage, in the amount of $20,000.
Anyone have any questions? All right, then can I get a motion to authorize the Assistant Township Manager to redistribute capital improvement fund monies from the Park Trail project to the projects at the Depreciation Lands Museum in the amount of $20,000 per the memo dated April 16th?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Shorley?
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor.
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
Favor.
I do have one other item under the monthly report. I did want to put on the record regarding the Northwest Trail project. After discussions between staff and council, it has been decided at this time not to pursue that trail. So there were 3 residents that had submitted an email with a PowerPoint presentation. I'll send them an email tomorrow advising them of that. And if they want to notify all the residents who signed the petition and came, then we'll let them take care of that. So,
All right, sounds good to me.
okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Nothing unless anybody has any questions.
No, I just want to say thanks for another great cleanup day.
Oh, you're
We lucked out,
welcome.
the weather was beautiful, and boy, we had a lot of volunteers. That was so nice to see.
Yes, we had 105 volunteers this year, and thank everybody for all the residents that came to volunteer. The fire police, we had Hampton, Shaler, Etna Fire Police, Hampton Police, Public Works, so it was a great turnout for a beautiful morning. So thank you very much, and thank you for everybody who helped with that day.
All right, Environmental Services.
Well, thank you, Madam President. I have nothing to add unless there are questions to my monthly report.
Jim, did you just want to mention about the lane closures on Route 8
Sure.
for the Gore Head project?
No problem. So, as you may recall, a few months ago, there was approval following a $200,000 grant that we received for sewer lining along Gorehead Run, which runs parallel to Route 8. That work that's going to be completed over the next few weeks will take place from McCully Road down to the Clearview Bridge. And the vast majority of our infrastructure is actually in Gorehead Run. So as a part of it, the contractor will need to close one of the lanes on Route 8, basically rerouting traffic into the fast lane, if you will, the northbound section while they do their work for 2 weeks, Monday through Thursday. So you'll see if you're driving on Route 8, there will be that lane closure during those timeframes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I have nothing else unless there are questions.
Zoning and planning,
Thank you.
please.
Thank you, Madam President. The manager, myself, Planning Commission, Steering Committee, recommend the adoption of an ordinance amending and restating the township zoning ordinance and adopting a new zoning map.
Anyone have any questions about this item? Ordinance number, please.
879.
All right, can I get a motion to adopt ordinance number 879, amending and restating the township zoning ordinance and adopting a new zoning map per the recommendation of the manager, the land use administrator, and the planning commission and the steering committee?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor.
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Mr. Shuley?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
Favor. Item B. We still have one more to go. Item B.
Don't let us down.
Wait, was that directed at me?
Anybody that's
Okay,
What if I get 1 out of 2?
all right.
Oh, God.
Item B.
The manager, myself, Planning Commission, and the Steering Committee recommend the adoption of an ordinance amending and restating the township's subdivision and land development ordinance.
Ordinance 880?
Correct.
All right. Anyone have any questions? Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 880, amending and restating the township subdivision and land development ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Fritsch?
Favor.
Mr. Midgley?
Favor.
Mr. Shuley?
Favor.
Ms. Blackburn?
Favor.
Dr. Johnson?
Favor. Now we can celebrate. All right.
Where's the cake?
There's a
Didn't-
can, there's a
did nobody
can,
tell
there's
you
a,
we expected cake?
there's a
That would have been
candy
an
dish.
excellent idea, by the way.
Yeah, that would actually be the next
Yeah.
one. I could have got one.
Yeah. Cake or wine, either one. Both. Both.
Yeah.
I have a long drive for this.
It's not about you, Aaron.
Anything to add to your monthly report?
Nothing to add to the monthly report, including the fire marshal's report. The additional item I would like to just mention, though, is that for the Seven Brew hearing, we did receive word that it's most likely going to be delayed again.
Again, okay.
They're requesting another extension there.
We're gonna have some angry high schoolers if this keeps up.
Yes. So, yeah, we're probably gonna hear that at the May meeting now.
All right, thanks for the heads up. Anything else?
Anything else for that?
Old business.
Just touch a truck, obviously, May 20th, and then, of course, pool season. We are, just about a month out from pool season, so, and cross your fingers, JR, when you fill the pool, there will be no leaks, correct?
Water stays.
Jerry's gonna be there watching you fill the pool to ensure there are no leaks.
How are we doing on lifeguards?
Yeah, check back with me on May 23rd.
I just want the record to show I've donated 2 lifeguards for this. I got donated 2.
We're gonna put a
It's-
sign up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Swim at your own risk.
it's as much the schedules as the people, I would say that. Just one thing real fast on the Saldo and zoning. They will appear on the township's website. For us to get them in E-code, though, to get them codified, is going to be probably fairly expensive, so we won't do it most likely until next year. I think you're probably looking at tens of thousands of dollars, given how long those ordinances are and how much they're connected throughout our code. So, yeah.
All right, anyone else have anything for old business? All right, I just wanted to mention, you forgot one thing, our first Pints in the Park is
Yes.
coming up on May 8th. It is a great event. Hopefully, we won't get rained out like we did sort
Hopefully
of
it's warm.
last year.
Oh, and I think that's Depreciation Land's opening day as well, that first weekend in May.
All right, great.
Yeah.
New business.
Nothing. I'll actually free you. There is no executive session tonight, so you can all go home to a, Penguin game or whatever it is you want to watch.
All right, anyone else have anything for new business? All right, then I will adjourn this evening's meeting. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
You sending bonds?